I recently started using this new resin tape, and I think it's the best resin tape I've ever used. So in this video, I want to give you a quick update on how I've upgraded my taping method. This is the tape that I've been using. It's from Amazon, and it's called Resin Tape. The manufacturer states that it's a silicone thermal adhesive tape, and I'm skeptical about that. I think it's honestly just a vinyl tape, but it's very thick and durable, and it adheres to the resin with an airtight seal easier than painter's tape does. They also provide it in many different widths. I have the 3-incher and the 2-incher here, which are the ones I use the most, but it goes all the way up to 5 inches. So now I'll show you how I use this tape on my pieces prior to top coating. This is a boutonniere block that I just finished, and I want to add a top coat to it. So first I'm going to demold this piece. Now I'm filing down the sharp edges so that it's flat, and then cleaning off the resin dust with a paper towel soaked in alcohol. Now I'm ready to start taping. I have the 2-inch tape in my hands, and I'm aligning the top of the tape with the top of my piece and creating an overhang at the bottom of the piece. I'm going to take my roll of tape and keep turning my piece around until I cover all the sides. You can always do more than one piece of tape if you want, but I find that one taut piece of tape is really nice because you create less seams, which are the vulnerable areas for your resin to seep through. And you'll see me lift the tape up and put it back down and try to get it right. And this is just the realistic view of what goes down when I'm taping with this tape. I find that it tends to make creases, and if you leave the creases in there, the resin can seep through. If you've watched my previous video on how to tape a block, you've seen me do 2 layers of tape to create that overhang. The nice thing about this resin tape is that you can just pick a wider tape and just use 1 layer of tape instead of doing the 2-layer method. So for example, this tape is 2 inches wide, which creates enough overhang for this block that's about 1 inch thick. Now I have my Cricut scraping tool, and I'm going to scrape the tape onto my piece so that I get rid of any air bubbles and I make sure that the tape is really on there well. And when it comes to tape, there are little white circles or white spots. That's where the air is trapped. You, of course, don't need to get rid of all the air bubbles, but you just want to make sure that you scrape down the vulnerable areas, like the corners and the top lip of your piece, because that's where the resin could get through. If you don't have this tool, obviously you don't have to use it or buy it. You can always use a putty knife or a ruler, anything that seems like it would be good for scraping. I also want to mention that all the materials I use are linked in the description box below the video. Now that my block is ready, I'm going to get started on my top coat. This is KS Resin Liquid Stone Elite. It's my go-to top coating resin. Sometimes I also use Mass Epoxy Art Pro. That's a good one as well. Whatever your preference is, as long as it's a top coating epoxy, it usually doesn't matter. I'm not going to go into too much detail about how to do the perfect top coat. I go over that in my flower blocks course on my website. And I also have a few videos on my channel, so I'll link that down below if you want to watch that. But for the purposes of this video, I just wanted to show you how to use this tape because it's really changed my mind about taping. I usually always use Elmer's glue, But ever since I discovered this tape, I've really started to like taping and I'm doing it more often nowadays. I'm here the following day and my resin is cured, so I'm gonna peel off the tape. This was a pretty clean top coat. I didn't get too many drips. I see a few of them, so this tape should have protected the sides of my block from these little drips. And you can see that the sides are very clean. None of the resin seep through the tape. And so far, this tape has been very reliable. I've been using it for my trays and my blocks, and I'm really happy with this upgrade. So I hope this helps, and thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye.